Good morning. It's Friday morning, and we're coming to you from my living room studio at my house. I want you to think with me today for a few minutes about the third meaning of Advent, Jesus coming as the judge. We say it in the Creed every week, in the Apostles' Creed, that he comes to judge the living and the dead. The older version had the quick and the dead, and quick meant living, just like it means when you cut into your fingernail, the pink part, and it really hurts. That's the quick. He comes to judge the quick and the dead, the living and the dead. What would it mean to say that we're all going to be judged after our whole lives of hearing about God's grace? To suddenly think of being judged is strangely inconsistent. I don't really understand how all of that's going to work out, and the Bible doesn't really tell us. I would say that the emphasis of the Scripture, though, is on the grace of God and God's love far more than on visions of a terrible judgment. So I don't think anyone needs to be afraid. I do think, though, that the judgment of God will come on things that are evil. And so systems and structures, Paul talks about the powers, things like governments or corporations or things with a lot of power over people that act in ways that are unjust and difficult will certainly face judgment. I think I think we can say with confidence that God will make things right and bring good news for the poor and the hungry and those who are desperate in this life, and that God will eradicate evil and all will be well. If you think about a moth for a moment, a moth flies attracted to the light, to the flame. When a moth gets too close to the flame, he burns himself and dies. And so his attraction to the light is counterproductive. Someone suggested that it was like that with Jesus, that when we die, we're all attracted to God's glorious light. Some people feel it as warm and wonderful, and other people experience that same light as a terrible, judging, difficult flame. We're not given those details in the Scripture, though. What we can do right now is understand that at the end, God will care for us, and we will all be where we're supposed to be, and we'll all be included, and everything will be well. So keep that in mind and in your hearts as we go forward into Advent, and trust in God's grace, and do not be afraid.